If you want to know how to get the most out of LinkedIn and be found, watch this video. Hey, what's going on everyone? Carlos Gil here. On this video, I'm going to share with you how you can optimize your LinkedIn profile and be found on the world's largest professional social network. I also want to take a moment to invite you to connect with me on LinkedIn. You can find me just by typing in Carlos Gil on the search results and then finding my profile photo as you see on the screen in front of you right now. Which brings me to my very first point, which is your profile photo. Keep in mind that LinkedIn is in fact a professional social network. It's not Snapchat, it's not Instagram, it's not Facebook, it's LinkedIn. So if you want to get the most out of LinkedIn, you have to put your best foot forward with your aesthetics. And I'm going to go through how to optimize your profile, but it really begins with your profile photo. As you can see in my LinkedIn profile, I'm smiling. I've got a jacket on. I am a professional, and that's what I want people to come away with when they come across my profile. I'm friendly and I'm approachable. Now, you don't have to have fancy equipment. You don't need to be in a studio. You don't need to spend a lot of money to up your profile photo game. In fact, most iPhones today have the ability to take portrait mode shots, or you can take a really good photo, a standard photo, using a smartphone. My recommendation to you is, fellas, put on a blazer, smile, do your hair. Ladies, same thing, put on a nice blouse or a blazer as well. And, just put your best foot forward. Make yourself look like you're friendly and you're approachable. So step number one is to optimize your profile, because this is really the first thing that people see when they are searching for professionals which fit your description. Now that brings me to my second point, which is your short form description. If you look at a Google search and you just type in your name and LinkedIn, you're gonna see how your profile comes up in Google search results. I'd encourage you to do this. Right now, you're seeing on the screen when you type in Carlos Gil LinkedIn, as you see, it has my name, has my location, it has a very short description of who I am as a professional. So it's really important that you optimize this short form description of who you are. This is also what appears in search results, and the keywords that you put in this short form description are critical, because if someone's looking for, let's say, a social media marketing professional, they're gonna type in social media. That's it. Or they're gonna type in social media manager. Or if you are looking to sell, for example, to like a VP of digital marketing, you're gonna type in VP digital marketing. So it's really important, if you wanna be discovered on LinkedIn, you get your short form summary right. Now, you don't have a lot of characters to work with, but ensure that you have the basics of who you are and what you do. Moving on from your short form summary, it's really important that you get your long form summary down pat with keywords as well. Think of your long form summary as your bio meets your resume cover letter. This is really where you sell who you are as a professional, who you're looking to connect with, what are some of your professional accolades. Think of how a LinkedIn profile works. It's very similar to a resume, right? So people are gonna start at the very top, and you have to keep compelling them each step of the way. They're gonna see your photo, they're gonna see your short form description, then they're gonna keep scrolling a little further down, and below your main profile section is that summary. So this is really where you want to spend time thinking through, if you are writing a book about you, what does that book say? Like, what's the back of that book say to describe you as the author? Take some time and also optimize that long form summary with keywords. Once again, I am a marketer. I work in social media. I'm also a speaker. I'm also a coach. I'm a mentor. I'm a consultant. These are all great keywords that I have in my profile on LinkedIn. So if you want to go ahead and see how I've optimized mine and kind of model yours after that, feel free to take a look. You can find me on LinkedIn at Carlos Gil, and you can see my profile. The next thing that I want to point out is location. Many of you out there might live in a smaller city or town that's not necessarily one of the bigger markets out there. For example, when I first joined LinkedIn in November of 2008, I lived in Jacksonville, Florida at the time, which Jacksonville is not on par with like New York or Chicago. What I'm trying to get at here is when a lot of folks use LinkedIn search, they're looking for professionals that not only have specific keywords that they're searching for, but they're also looking for professionals in certain key markets. I noticed throughout just the last several years of moving across the country from Florida to San Francisco, and then from San Francisco to Los Angeles, where I'm currently at, every time I moved to a bigger city, I started getting like an influx of connection requests, and more people were able to find me because now I'm a part of that larger ecosystem. So my recommendation to you is don't like necessarily put, if you live in like a small town in Georgia, that now you live in New York. You don't want to do that, but find like the nearest big market close to you. So if you're in a smaller town in Georgia, change that you are in Atlanta, because the reality is you can get to Atlanta by car or by plane or by train, depending on where you live, really fast. So once again, if you're in a smaller city or town, think about changing that city to a greater city market on your LinkedIn profile. That way, it's gonna help you expand your potential reach in search results. The next tip is media content. If you notice on LinkedIn, you can add everything from YouTube videos to podcast interviews to traditional media where you've been interviewed. Use this to establish credibility and thought leadership on your profile. You can also add media to your employer sections. So let's say that you work in sales for a company. You can add YouTube videos which speak about your company, your products and services. You can add those to your LinkedIn profile right now. So as you're connecting with people that you meet in the field or say at a conference and they go to your profile, now you're gonna have rich media content that lives on there. The other thing that you need to know is that that rich media content also is linked to another source and it has metadata within it containing keywords. And those keywords will also help you be easily discoverable and found in search. Now, if you've watched to this point, I'm gonna give you a bonus 6 tip. Just spoke about adding media to your LinkedIn profile. You can also create media within LinkedIn. And what I'm referring to specifically is blog content. The SEO value that LinkedIn offers is really on par with a Facebook, a medium.com, or any major site out there on the web. So instead of creating blog content on your website and using LinkedIn as a vehicle to drive people to that website, instead create native blog content that lives within your LinkedIn profile that has keywords, there's metadata in the content that you create. You can embed videos as well. This way, LinkedIn will now be incentivized to drive people to your profile since you're keeping traffic on LinkedIn versus sending people away from LinkedIn. That's a wrap. Hopefully these 6 tips will bring you success and, more importantly, help you optimize your LinkedIn profile so you appear in more search results. Once again, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. You can find me just by searching Carlos Gil and look for the guy smiling. So if this video was really helpful for you, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And as always, share it out on social media.